The new Nintendo 3DS is a great game system in its own right, but once you jailbreak it, it opens up an entirely new world of gaming experiences to enjoy. To that end, I'll show you everything that it takes step by step to jailbreak your own new Nintendo 2DS or 3DS system in no time at all. Fire up your handheld and your PC because you're about to learn something new. Two important things to note as we get started in the process. First, you'll need to have your 2DS or 3DS system connected to the wireless internet. In addition, you'll need to have a microSD card, preferably larger than 4 GB, and it needs to be formatted either in your system or in FAT32 format in your computer. This video guide is largely based on the incredible work done by the fine folks over at 3ds.hacks.guide. I've donated to the guide and I hope you'll consider doing the same. To get started in the process, click Get Started on the home page. This page has some key information that's absolutely worth taking the time to review. Once you've reviewed this information, click the Get Started link at the bottom of the page to move forward. On this page, you'll have to make a couple of choices regarding which type of system you have, what operating system it's on, and what region it's from. From here, there are two choices. The first one is old Nintendo 2DS and 3DS systems, including XLs, and on the right side, new systems, including 2DS and 3DS XL systems. Click the radio button in the bottom of the window for 2DS and 3DS new systems for this guide. From here, make sure you're on the latest version of the system software, which should be 11.17.050. Next to the system software version number, there's a drop-down for region. Pick this drop-down and choose the letter that matches the region code on your system. In this case, I'm in the United States, so I'm going to select U, but pick the letter that matches your system. Once you've verified all this information, click Confirm to continue. In the previous video that I made about jailbreaking the old models of 2DS and 3DS system, it utilized Python to get the job done. Here, you'll need less steps and it uses the more traditional downloads to the SD card method. To get access to the links for the downloads you need, scroll down on this page until you see the listing that says what you need. Several of these downloads are direct links and several of them are hosted on the GitHub. Super Skater Hacks is hosted on the GitHub, so I'll right-click on this link and open it up in a new tab so we can grab it in just a moment. The download for Safe B9S installer is hosted on the guide and it's a direct download. Click the link to download the file to your computer. Next on the list is Boot 9 Strap. Once again, it's a direct download. Click the link to grab the file directly from the guide. Here's another direct download from the guide called NIM DSP Hacks. Click the link to grab the file and download it directly to your computer. Luma 3DS is not a direct download, it's hosted on the GitHub. I'm going to right-click on the link and open it in a new tab so that we can grab it in a separate browser tab. Okay, let's tackle the downloads in the browser tabs. The first one being the latest version of Luma 3DS, or the custom firmware for your device. On this GitHub page, scroll down until you see the Assets section. You'll see a zip file at the top of Assets, and that's the latest version of Luma 3DS. Click to download this file to your computer. The other GitHub download is for Super Skater Hacks. So in this tab, you'll see that there are also two QR codes at the top of this page. I'm going to scroll past them for now, but leave this tab or browser window open during the jailbreak process because you'll need to access those QR codes in just a moment. For now, just click on the zip file for the latest version of Super Skater Hacks in the Assets section. With all of these newly downloaded files, we've got some unzipping to do. Open up a new File Explorer window and then go to the Download section. Inside Downloads, you'll see that everything is in zip format. Right-click all of the files, select Extract All, and you can extract these files directly to the folders that are pre-selected. Once you have unzipped each of the zip files, right-click on them and delete them to send them to the recycle bin. And remember, everything that you delete is still archived for you in the recycle bin in case you need it. Just to make things a little better organized, I'm going to press the F5 key on the keyboard to refresh this page and set everything into alphabetical order by folder. Next, I'll take this File Explorer window, drag and drop it over to the left side of the screen, and snap it into place. Remove the microSD card from your new Nintendo 2DS or new Nintendo 3DS system. By the way, check the video description for some great deals on microSD card storage upgrades for your 2DS or 3DS system. Take the microSD card from your 2DS or 3DS system and insert it into the SD card reader for your computer. Once the window pops up for your microSD card, I'm going to take that window and drag and drop it over to the right side and snap it into place. Everything with this jailbreak process is about putting the right things in the right place on the microSD card. It all starts by creating a new folder right on the root of the SD card named boot9 strap, BOOT, the number 9, STRAP. Once you have this folder created, double-click into the folder. Back in your Downloads folder, you'll find a folder there called boot9 strap with a version number. Double-click into that folder. Inside this folder, you'll find two files, boot9strap.bin and boot9strap.bin.sha. Select both of these files and drag and drop them into the newly created boot9 strap folder on your microSD card. Go back to the root of the microSD card and back to your Downloads folder. From here, right-click the boot9 strap folder and send it to the recycle bin. Next up, navigate to the Luma 3DS folder in the Downloads folder and double-click into it. Inside this subfolder, you'll find two files, boot.firm and boot.3dsx. Highlight both of these files and drag and drop them directly onto the root of your microSD card. Be careful not to put it in a subfolder. Drag and drop it outside the folders directly onto the root. Now you can go back to the root of the Downloads folder and right-click on the Luma 3DS folder and delete it to send it to the recycle bin. Go back over to the File Explorer window for your microSD card. You'll need to create a new folder, but stay out of those subfolders and be sure that you create this subfolder right on the root of the storage card. Name this subfolder 3DS no matter whether you're using a 3DS or 2DS system for this process. I'm going to press the F5 key on the keyboard to refresh the window and keep the folders in alphabetical order on the microSD card as well. Once you have the 3DS folder created, double-click into it. Go back over to your Downloads folder and locate the folder that's called NIM DSP Hacks. Double-click into that folder. Grab the subfolder that you see here and drag and drop it directly into the 3DS folder that you newly created on your microSD card. Go back in File Explorer to the root of the microSD card, and then go back to the root of the Downloads folder in the other File Explorer window. Now you can right-click on the NIM DSP Hacks folder and send it to the recycle bin. Super Skater Hacks is actually in a folder called Release New 3DS. Double-click into that folder. Inside this subfolder, you'll see a series of subfolders that each have a region and system software number that corresponds with the content inside of them. Locate the one that matches your system software and region. In this case, I'm in the United States and using software 11.17.050, which is all the way at the bottom of the list. Locate the folder that matches your region and system software version and double-click into it. You'll find two files inside that subfolder, an ARM11 file and a Browser Hacks file. Grab both of these files and drag and drop them directly onto the root of your microSD card. Again, be very careful not to drag them into one of the subfolders. Drag and drop them outside of those subfolders directly onto the root of your microSD card. Go back over to the File Explorer window for your downloads. Go back in the File Explorer window navigation until you get back to the root of downloads. From here, you can right-click on that release folder, delete it, and send it to the recycle bin. One more folder to go, and it's Safe B9S Installer. Locate that folder and double-click into it. Inside this folder, you'll find a file that's called safeb9sinstaller.bin. Grab that file and drag and drop it over directly onto the root of the microSD card. Again, avoiding the subfolders on the root of the card. Go back over to the File Explorer window for downloads and go back to the root. From here, you can right-click on Safe B9S Installer and send it to the recycle bin. Grab the microSD card from your computer's card reader, insert it back into your 2DS or 3DS system, and power on your system. From the main menu of your device, press the left shoulder and the right shoulder button simultaneously. This will activate your device's camera. In the bottom left corner of the touchscreen, you'll see an icon that represents QR code. Tap on it with the stylus and it will activate the QR code reader in the top display of your camera app. Hey, remember that Super Skater Hacks website with the QR codes on it? You'll need to take a picture of the code that matches the region of your system. Point the camera with the QR reader active at the QR code and you'll see that a website will pop up in the bottom touch display. By the way, if you've never taken a video of a screen of a camera taking a picture of a screen, you've missed out on one of life's joys. Focus your attention on the bottom touch display. You'll see a notification that a new website has been found, and it's the 𝐍𝐈𝐍𝐒.com website. Either press the A button on your device or tap OK with the stylus to continue. A pop-up notification will ask you if you want to launch the web browser. You do, so press A or tap OK on the bottom touch display. I unjailbreak and factory reset this 3DS system every time I do a video, so this is the first time I've accessed the web browser since I factory reset the device. If this is the first time you've accessed the web browser, select Next with A or tap on it on screen. Select the search engine you want to use. In this case, I'll tap on Google, then tap on OK or select it with A, then tap on OK again or select it with A to lock in the changes. Now you'll see the 𝐍𝐈𝐍𝐄𝐇 website appear in the bottom touch display. Enticing though it may be to tap Go in the top left corner, there are a couple of things you'll need to do first for things to work correctly. First, let's go ahead and bookmark this page. Press the Select button on your 2DS or 3DS system. You'll see an option here to allow you to add a new bookmark. So grab your stylus and tap on Bookmark this page in the bottom touch display. Next up, press the Start button on your device to open up what's called the Context menu. In the Context menu near the bottom, you'll see a listing for Settings. Tap on Settings with the stylus. At the bottom of the submenu, you'll see a listing that says Delete Cookies. Tap on Delete Cookies. At the Confirmation menu, tap on Yes or select it with A. To go back to the web browser, tap on Back in the bottom touch display or press the B button on your device. You should still see the 𝐍𝐈𝐍𝐄𝐇 webpage with Go in the top left corner, but don't Go just yet. Instead, press the Home button on your device to go back to the main menu. Now go right back into the web browser by pressing the A button or tapping the icon for it in the bottom touch display. Okay, now it's time to get your Go on. Tap Go in the top left corner of the screen. You'll see a pop-up notification in the bottom touch display with an A in the middle of the screen. This is an expected behavior. Tap OK in the bottom touch display or select it with A to continue. If you've done everything right up to this point, your system will show a series of colors in the bottom touch display, just like a magic show. Once it's done, your system will load the Homebrew launcher. Remember earlier how we put that nim.dsp.hacks file on your SD card? It's the one and only Homebrew application currently available to load. In the bottom touch display, tap on nim.dsp.hacks to launch the application. Wait out another color show in the bottom display, and your system will launch into Safe B9S Installer. You'll see a series of checks and installations taking place in the bottom touch display. Just give the system a moment to do its magic and run through the processes. The last message should say all checks passed. If you don't get this, go back and check your work before proceeding. Take a look in the top display. You'll be instructed to enter a series of D-pad presses and a button press to proceed through the next part of this process. Enter the combination that you see on your device, knowing that it's probably different than the one that you see on screen here. The process takes only a few seconds in real time. Once it's done, you'll see a confirmation message on screen that 𝐘𝐕𝐄 was installed successfully. Press the A button to continue, and your device should now boot into the Luma 3DS configuration menu. This is most likely the easiest thing you'll do throughout the entire jailbreak process because you don't have to do a thing. There's nothing to configure here, just press the Start button to continue. This will boot your 2DS or 3DS system to your device's main menu. From here, you need to power off your system. Press and hold the power button on your device, then in the bottom touch display, tap Power Off to turn off your device. Back on the 3DS Hacks Guide website, scroll down to the bottom of the page and click on the link for Finalizing Setup. There's a key download you'll need to grab here on this page to proceed through the jailbreak process. Scroll down on this page until you see the listing that says what you need. There's one single download here and it's called finalizing.zip. It's a direct download. Click on the link to download this file directly from the guide. It's a zip file, so it needs to be extracted. Right-click on File Explorer and open the Downloads folder. From here, right-click on the zip file, select Extract All, and you can extract the contents of this file to its default location. Once you have them extracted, right-click on the zip file and send it packing. Just like I did with the Downloads folder previously, I'm going to grab the File Explorer window for downloads and snap it into place on the left side of the screen. At this point, go ahead and remove the microSD card from your device and put it back into the SD card reader for your PC. Once your microSD card is recognized and File Explorer is opened, grab that window and drag and drop it over to the right side of the screen and snap it into place. In the File Explorer window for downloads, double-click in the Finalizing folder. This part is super easy. Highlight everything that you see inside the Finalizing folder. Then drag and drop everything that you highlighted directly onto the root of your microSD card. Again, avoid dropping them in one of the subfolders. Be absolutely certain you're outside of them, and only drop these contents directly on the root of your microSD card storage. You no longer need that finalizing folder in Downloads. Go back one level to the root of the Downloads folder, right-click on the finalizing folder, and send it to the recycle bin. Remove the SD card from your computer's SD card reader and put it back into your system. An important step here: before you turn on your 2DS or 3DS system, press and hold the select button, and while holding it, then press the power button on your device. This should load up the Luma 3DS configuration menu. If you get anything other than this, go back and check your steps carefully before proceeding. Once you've verified this step works correctly, press the Start button on your device to load your device's home menu. Next step, power off your 2DS or 3DS system. Press and hold the power button, then in the bottom touch display, tap Power Off to turn off your device. Now go ahead and turn your system right back on by pressing and holding the power button to go back to the main menu. From here, you'll need to run a system update even if you're on the latest version. This basically checks for two things: one, to make sure you're on the most recent version of the official system software, and two, to make sure that the process worked correctly. From your device's main menu, navigate to System Settings and then tap on System Settings in the bottom touch display, or select it with the A button to launch System Settings. From the main menu of System Settings, tap on Other Settings. Inside the Other Settings submenu, tap the right arrow on the right side of the screen until you get all the way to the end of the list of choices. You'll see the listing here for System Update. Tap on it to select it. You'll see a confirmation message on screen. Tap OK in the bottom right corner to continue. Then tap I accept to start the update process. You'll see a message that the system's checking for updates and then applying any updates as needed. You should already be on the most recent version of the official system software. Tap OK to go back to the home menu of your device. Next up is the 𝐍𝐈𝐍𝐒 menu. To access it, press the left shoulder button on your device, down on the D-pad, and the select button. You'll see the 𝐍𝐈𝐍𝐒 menu appear in the bottom touch display. From the main menu of 𝐍𝐈𝐍𝐒, use the D-pad to move the blue highlight arrow on the left side of the text options down to the listing for miscellaneous options. Select it with the A button. From inside this submenu, use the D-pad to move the blue highlight arrow down to Dump DSP Firmware and select it with A. This allows you to use your system to run sound in homebrew applications. Once the DSP firmware has been dumped successfully, press the B button to go back one level in the menu structure. Next on the list, use the D-pad to move the arrow up one listing in the menus to nullify user time offset, and press the A button to select it. You'll see a confirmation message, and you'll also be prompted to reboot your system to finalize this change. We'll do that in just a moment. For now, press the B button 3 times. Once to go back, once to go back again, and once to close out the 𝐍𝐈𝐍𝐒 menu. For now, you'll need to power off your device again. Press and hold the power button, and in the bottom touchscreen, use the stylus to tap Power Off to turn off your system. Before you turn your system back on, this time, press and hold the Start button, and while holding the Start button, press the power button on your device. If you've done everything correctly up to this point, your system will now launch God Mode 9. From the main menu of God Mode 9, press the Home button on your device to open up the Action menu in the bottom touch display. From the list of menu choices in the bottom touch display, use the D-pad to move the white highlight arrow down until you get to the listing for Scripts, and select Scripts with the A button. The one and only script you should see here is called Finalize. Select Finalize with the A button to launch it. You might see a message that you don't have a title database, like I did here because I initialized the system before recording this video. If you need to create a title database, all you have to do here is just press A for yes, and it will take care of it for you automatically. To install custom firmware to your system, you'll need to unlock what's called your SysNAND, which is the flash storage where your operating system is stored. Press the A button for yes and then enter the D-pad and button combination shown on your screen. It's likely different than the one that you see in the video here on my screen, so check the bottom touch display on your own system and enter the D-pad and button press combination shown there. Give the system a moment to do its magic, and you'll be presented with a list of all of the changes and updates that will be made to your system. If you agree to this, and you should at this point, press the A button for yes to proceed. Your SysNAND, or operating system in your flash memory, will be backed up to your microSD card, and some key applications will be installed to your home menu. We'll take a look at those in just a moment. Once the process is complete, press the A button to power off your device. You've done a lot of great work here, and it'd be a real shame not to have a quality backup of it all. Back on your Windows desktop, right-click, select New, and select Folder. You can name this folder anything that you'd like. I'm just going to name this folder 3DS Backup so that I can remember what it is, just in case I have to reference it later. To make things a bit easier here in just a moment, I'm going to drag the folder and snap it into place on the left side of the screen. Go ahead and remove the microSD card from your device and insert it back into the SD card reader on your computer. Once the File Explorer window for the SD card appears, I'm going to take that window and then drag it and drop it into place over on the right side of the screen. Select everything that's on your microSD card. Okay, wait a second. Really select everything that's on your microSD card and drag and drop it over into the backup folder that you've created on your computer. This will really help you out in the future. First of all, when you upgrade to a larger microSD card for your system, all you have to do is just drag and drop everything from your backup folder onto your new microSD card, and it will work exactly like it did with the older card. Additionally, this gives you a second backup of your original flash storage or your system NAND and your operating system if you ever have to use them to unjailbreak your system or restore your system to its original factory state. Remove the microSD card from your computer, insert it back into your 2DS or 3DS system, and power on your system. You'll see a notification in the bottom touch display that new software has been added. Tap OK or select OK with the A button. You've put in the work, and now it's time to open some presents. Start by selecting the first present with the A button. It's called Anemone. This is used to create custom themes for your 2DS or 3DS system. The next one is called Checkpoint. Checkpoint is a save games manager for your 2DS or 3DS. The next present that you open up is called FBI. It's used to install .CIA extension files onto your 2DS or 3DS system. Next on the list is FTPD. It allows you to connect to your handheld system over file transfer protocol from other systems. You used this previously during the jailbreak process, and now you have the Homebrew launcher accessible directly from the home menu. And last, but certainly not least, is Universal Updater. It lets you update your Homebrew applications through one single app. Now that you've got your new Nintendo 2DS or 3DS system jailbroken, let's take it to a whole new level. Learn how to wirelessly stream your gameplay from your system to your PC with this video shown on screen and linked in the description and pinned comment.